Hey camp friends, welcome back to our Back to Camp Day of Giving. This is the 11 o'clock hour. We're going to sing some more songs. Before we do that, we've got a new friend that's joining us here for the rest of the day. It's Matt Simkins right over there. Say hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Hey, Matt, tell us a little bit about yourself and your connection to camp.
Man, I grew as a young person here at camp, as a camper. I grew as a counselor. It fueled my call to ministry, and man, I love to come to Luther Ridge, Luther Rock. We spend time there. Luther Ranch when I was in Atlanta, Luther Springs are all amazing camps, and this is such a worthy cause. I hope that you'll take some time, pull out your wallets, your credit cards, your Venmo things. I don't know how we're doing it, but send something today, right now, as a gift to the camp that has given us all so many gifts over the years.
Well, Matt, we're really thankful that you're here to play guitar with us. I've heard that you're a good guitar player. I haven't experienced that myself, so I'm excited to see how that works. Hey, Lori, what song are we going to start off with?
We're going to start off with what we call here the Papaya Song. And that's another thing that I love so much about camp is that for over the years, we have dear songs to many of us that stream back all the way from 50 to 70 years ago. One of the stories we're about to hear from one of our camp friends will be from somebody who's been here on site for 50 years, but this song that we're about to sing came to us from one of our more recent counselors, and we're about to sing the Papaya Song. It's a lot of fun. Can't wait for you to join us.
Hey, Matt, do you like bananas?
I was just going to tell you that, I have a real affinity for bananas.
Yeah.
Because they're interesting because they have layers.
They have layers.
Right, they have an outer layer, and then, as you get into the middle, there's this, but you know what is even better?
Potassium.
No, mangoes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
they're sweet.
Let's sing a song.
Oh, you don't want to talk about fruit anymore?
Nope, I want to sing.
Well, I'm going to sing about it.
Yep.
I like bananas. Woo! I think that mangoes are sweet. I like papayas. Papayas. Nothing can beat that sweet love of God. Sing, I like bananas. Here we go. I like bananas. Woo! I think that mangoes are sweet. I like papayas. Papayas. But nothing can beat that sweet love of God. Walking around. Here we go. Walking around in circles, 100 miles an hour, trying to find my way back to that heavenly God. The world tastes sweet, and then it turns sour, and then I look at God and receive God's power. I like bananas. Woo! I think the mangoes are sweet. I like papayas. Papayas, but nothing can beat that sweet love. Walking around in circles, 100 miles an hour, trying to find my way back to that heavenly cloud. The world tastes sweet, and then it turns sour. Then I look at God and receive the power. I like bananas. I think the mangoes are sweet. I like papayas. But nothing can beat that sweet love of God. Everybody say,
Woo, I love that. Gives us all that energy we need to come back to camp.
Yeah, absolutely. Taylor lost his pick and his guitar during that song. It must have been super fun.
We get wild and crazy with some of those songs.
We're sharing back here.
That's what we're
Hey,
doing.
we're going to do another song.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. And Nancy, are you going to sing along with us?
I love this song, so I wanted to come and sing. Yeah.
So, this is No Place I'd Rather Be.
There is no place I'd rather be than camp.
There's no place I'd rather be. There's no place I'd rather be. There's no place I'd rather be. Here in your love, here is no place. There's no place I'd rather be. There's no place I'd rather be. Come on. There's no place I'd rather be. Here in your love, here is our place I'd rather be. There's no place I'd rather be but here in your love, here in your love. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. So, friends, it's 11 o'clock. The day is moving on. We are so grateful for all of you watching at home. Be sure to share and make comments and share your stories so more folks can find us out there, you know, in the interweb world, so that they know today is going on as well. It's time for stories, Chandler.
Yeah, and I'm
It's time for
excited about these
stories.
two because they really show us the generations that these camps have made a difference in people's lives. So yeah, I'm excited to hear these.
Yeah, so the generations, let's talk about that for just a little bit. So our camps are all different ages, right? Like they started 70 years ago at Luther Ridge, Luther Rock, and then Luther Springs and Luther Ranch. They all have different ages, they all have different stories, but they all do the same thing. They all impact the lives of campers and counselors and guests. They all introduce us to a community of faith that God just makes so amazing and so great by bringing us together and teaching us what it means to be a family in Christ, to be unconditionally welcome, to belong. And so in these stories, that's exactly what you're going to hear. Katie is our first story, and Katie was supposed to be on staff last summer. It was going to be her first summer on staff, and so she missed out, but she's not giving up. She's coming back this summer, and we're super excited to hear her story now.
Hello, my name is Katie Ennis, and I'm a first-time counselor at Luther Ridge. Prior to moving to Beaufort, South Carolina, I had gone to a summer camp in Pennsylvania for about 10 years. My first time going to Luther Ridge was in the summer of 2019, and I was extremely nervous because I had not known anyone in my cabin like I was used to. I feel that my experience in that cabin has made me grow as a person because I felt welcomed there even though nobody had known me. Like, some of them had been friends since their first year going to Luther Ridge together, but they welcomed me like I had been going to Luther Ridge with them for years. Even the counselors had welcomed me, making me feel like I had gone there since the very first year I had gone to camp. Because of this experience, I feel that I have become more confident with my abilities to make friends while at camp. I hope that anybody who has gone to Luther Ridge can experience or has experienced these kinds of things.
Hey, Katie, thank you for sharing that, and I can't wait to get to work with you this summer here at Luther Ridge. And Katie's right. I mean, this is a place where whether you've been here a million times or this is the first time you've set foot on this mountain or the mountain at Luther Rock or the rolling hills of Luther Ranch or the beautiful lakeside setting at Luther Springs, there are people there ready to greet you and love you as Christ calls us to love one another, which is unconditionally.
Yeah, and so while Katie is on the beginning of her camp journey, now we want you to hear a story from someone who has been on this journey for a long time. Bill Trexler. Bill serves on our board. He has connections to all of our camps, and let's hear Bill's story now.
Hello, I'm Bill Trexler. I'm a pastor in the church, And for me, Luther Ridge is my holy ground. It's my happy place. I was there when Eford Hall groundbreaking took place in the early 1950s. And then later in that decades, was able to come to camp a couple of times just as soon as I was old enough to do that. I learned to swim in the lake at Luther Ridge. Dutch Holcher decided one day only way I was going to learn was by throwing me in. So that's what he did. And guess what? I swam. Counselors were very important to me during that time too. I remember some of the studies still that we did during that time, but the most important thing was the worship. Our morning watch, which took place each day. Then we would have vespers in the evening. Special vespers, though, were always on Friday night when we would find some stone that we would pick up and take by candlelight procession up the hill to where the chapel now stands. And we would build an altar there or add our stone to those that had been added before, just a stone place like all those in the Bible where when significant interchanges took place between God and God's people, they would set up a stone altar. Later, that was created into actually an altar, and every time I'm back in that area, I usually make the trek up the hill, sit there, and just meditate for a while. It was at Luther Ridge that I think I began to be shaped to eventually become a pastor. As I said, that was a very happy place for me. Going to music weeks over the years after I grew older, then having opportunity to see counselors come there, and many of them met their spouses, and many of those counselors are among my very best friends these days. It was a joy, too, that our own children then were able to go to camp at Luther Ridge. Two of our sons became counselors later on. Our grandkids now go, and we look forward to the time when they can do that again. I received so much there that it's been a joy also to begin to give back. And several times I've led some conferences at Luther Ridge, participated in others. Confirmation retreats, both at Luther Rock and at Luther Ridge. Co-led a trail hike one time with one of my best friends. And later, when I was bishop in Florida, I was able to preside at the dedication of the first facilities at Luther Springs, and also participate in creating the Stations of the Cross that are a part of that facility. And then finally, preaching at the 60th anniversary of Luther Ridge was another high point. As I said, it's time to give back, and I hope that this day of giving will be an important one in strengthening our camp. I think of the camp song of Luther Ridge hymn, O Luther Ridge, such wealth is thine, thy hills declare God is divine. Thanks be to God for this ministry.
Hey, Bill, thank you. Thank you for sharing that story. Bill serves on our board of trustees, and like Bill, I think it's important for our friends at home to know that we have 100% participation from our board members. Our board members all give to the ministry because they know how important this ministry is and the impact that it's had on their lives, but also on all of our lives, on the lives of you at home as well. And so they don't simply just serve on the board. They support financially and they volunteer in so many ways. And we are so grateful for their help and their support. And we invite you to join them, to join us today in making a gift to this ministry that we continue to hear how it changes and impacts lives. Now remember, our goal for today is 300 gifts. It doesn't matter how much you can give or feel like you can give. Every gift makes a difference in the life of this ministry and in the lives of those who come to these beautiful places. So 300 gifts, and for every gift, $200 will be given on top of that, from our challenge gift. And so at this hour, I can tell you, we are at 68 gifts. Friends, thank you. We are we're on our way. And I know that together we are going to hit this goal, and we're going to maximize that additional $60,000 that we've been offered. And so, Chandler, what I think right now would be important, because we heard from Katie, who shared her connection here started as a nervous camper who wasn't sure what to expect, if she would be welcomed when she got here, all the way to Bill's story from years ago, who couldn't wait to be a camper as soon as he was old enough to be a camper. How do we get to be campers?
Yeah.
What do we do?
Well, first I will say that while I love Bill's story about learning how to swim, one, we don't swim in the lake anymore, and we also have really good guidelines and protocols of keeping people safe about water. We're not going to throw you in and expect you to learn how to swim. So I want to preface that. Awesome for Bill.
Good old
We're
days.
not going to do that.
Yeah.
But how do you get to be a camper? Is that you register right now. If you're thinking about what your kid is looking forward to this summer, what your grandchild wants to experience for this summer, what your nieces or nephews or friends from right down the street want to do this summer, go to novusway.org and look at all of the opportunities we have at all of our camps. Because the great thing is we have a real diversity of experiences at our camps. Go to Luther Rock and really experience some outdoor adventure. Come here to Luther Ridge and be in the midst of this community of faith formation and growth. Go to Luther Ranch and experience their equestrian programs. Or go to Luther Springs, right there by a beautiful lake, and spend time there getting to know God and getting to have a deeper relationship with your friends and with Jesus. There are all these great experiences. So go there, register. Our early bird registration ends on March 15th. That's pretty soon. That's next week.
Next week.
So get registered. It helps you because it gets you a lower price. It helps us because it helps us plan and know how to be best prepared for the summer. So we really like to know that. And you can get registered there. There's nothing else you have to do to qualify to be a camper here at camp other than just to want to be here. And we'll help make it happen. And also, while we're talking about giving, it's good to know that we don't want finances to stand in anyone's way of being here with us as a camper. Let us know. We've got information on the webpage about scholarships we can provide and ways that we can make it possible for your camper to be here with us. Finances are not going to stand in anyone's way, and especially right now, as we know that there are so many people hurting, but they want to get back in community in these ways. Let us know. We'll get you here.
And that's confidential.
Yes.
It's confidential.
Most
So, take advantage of that if that is on your heart that you would like to apply for a scholarship. They're there. They're there for you. So, friends, we will be back at 12 o'clock for a very special lunch blessing. So before you pop that, lean cuisine or whatever in the microwave at work, come and say a blessing with us here on wherever it is that you're watching us, YouTube or Facebook, and we'll make sure that that your lunch is blessed.
Yes,
and it'll be a fun one. So we'll see you back at 11. Remember, you can give at novusway.org, green donate button in the top right corner. Thanks, friends.